kind of like, I've never really taken off seasons before, or an off season for me was laid back. An off season in my mind, especially when we were learning like in school, is pretty much take your time to relax, decrease the load of what you're doing. So training 6 times a week, 2 to 3 times a day, turns into like 18 sessions plus, at minimum 12, which is like a lot of work, a lot of stress on the body. So deloading it down to just like maybe 5 times a week and doing other things besides boxing, like swimming, basketball, soccer, walking, light walks, light jogs, anything else, just to kind of let your body relax, do a lot of corrected stuff. And what I've noticed from past injuries, like hamstring, I tore my hamstring, tore my labrum, I tore my forearm, fractured my olecranon in my elbow, just kind of like fractured my elbow. These types of injuries, then fractured this hand. So a lot of it comes from, first of all, me not taking any seasons off. That kind of makes sense, you know? Like, I've never had an off season ever. I've been off, but I've still boxed 6 times a week, 5 times a week, 4 times a week, and then also done like 3 days of weight training. And it was like I never had an off season. Whether off season was like for me when I didn't know any better, and from all these injuries, it's kind of, this is going to be like the most mandatory thing from now on. That's why I've kind of, in a good way, happy that my hand fractured and we got the cast off like just 10 days ago, and that forced me to kind of deload my week a lot and deload my days, and for the doctor to be like, look, you got to stop boxing, you got to stop like doing anything that's going to cause a lot of like motion in the wrist even with the cast on. I find that's kind of what made me appreciate like the off season and coming here with the family and just kind of relaxing, you know, sitting down, eating dinner together, and just enjoying food, eating a little bit more than I'm used to, which I have no problem with, because like come fight camp next week when it starts, it's back to like dieting back down, so it's not really a big issue for me. Just doing some walks, doing a lot of rehab. My friend's actually here with me, so he's helping me a lot with like the stuff that I need to get done, since he's been with me for like 16 years, so he kind of knows from what I learned in school. I kind of teach him how to do it on me. So a lot of just like releasing knots, treating injuries, focusing on corrective stuff, so imbalances that I may have or whatever it may be. That's pretty much like the main focus on that. So, you know, doing more foam rolling and stretching and yoga sessions, doing more body weight, back to basics kind of lifts and trainings, just to keep the load really lighter on my joints, but still get a good workout in at the same time. Just doing things like that, having more family time, since like when training comes, I barely see my parents, barely see my family. I barely see my family here that's in the States. So it's just like a good time to kind of like relax and enjoy that.
Patrick, what's your specialty?
I guess tartare. Like the easiest thing, let's be honest. No dishes, just cut a bunch of stuff out. Put it all in one place.
Like a steak tartare?
That was breakfast. Pretty much just had that bowl of oats. And the other thing you guys saw on the side is a Moroccan pancake. It's called bassoum. It's pretty much just like wheat flour and some yeast, and then they let it rise, and then I just added a little bit of maple syrup on top of it, especially after the morning workout we did on the sun, and I got a tan already being out for just like 45 minutes to an hour. But right now we're gonna chill. I have my laptop inside. I'm gonna do some work for about 2 hours. The only thing that's left for this week that we didn't do was get food. So that's the plan for the food. And then the rest of the week is pretty much going to be some open water swimming, a lot of yoga, a lot of stretching, a lot of foam rolling, a lot of just waking up in the sun, going for walks, catching the football. Like, that's a deload for me. And then a lot of sleep, naps, just recover, and then get ready for the season that's about to start when we're back in Montreal. All right, time to go get groceries.
Go get food. We gotta go eat. It's very important to vlog that.
This is getting complicated right now. My dad is fed up.
I thought there was salami. Mimi got you salami.
It's at the bottom.
You want prosciutto, Olivia?
Yeah, it's about midday now. We hit the beach for about like 2 hours, got in some meals, relaxing. Now we're gonna do a recovery workout, which is pretty much just gonna be body weight specific. We're gonna hit each and every muscle group. That's it. These are like some of the stuff that I carry with me, even when I'm traveling. Just a couple of resistance bands. This is like for mobility, stretching, and a workout. I got like 3 different levels. These, I got a voodoo band, which I like to use for blood flow restriction. I got a jiu-jitsu belt. It's one of my purple belts. Just for like inverted rows or something, I'll wrap it around the pole just sometimes so I don't do like the elastic row. I'll do like my own body weight. So this is why I like to do this one. And then I got like a resistance band. This one is more for like treatment. So my wrist rehab, since I did fracture my hand, I'm gonna do all my wrist rehab and then a couple of shoulder mobilities, ankle mobilities, and that's about it. It's really quiet outside. There's like no one here. The family's doing their thing, so I'm just gonna work out on the patio outside, probably right there, and that will be the plan for now. Yeah. Okay, yeah. How do I see the next few months unfolding? I had a lot of, I had like 3 losses back to back, 3-4 losses. I kind of lost my groove. I don't know what it was. It's more of a mental thing, definitely, but I think also it was just like, kind of was tired, and my first loss happened last year. My hand was fractured for like 8 to 10 weeks. I wasn't able to do nothing, so all we did was on my left hand. But then I started getting like a whole bunch of stuff on my left shoulder, which completely makes sense. I'm just overusing it. So then like my mental status was off because I barely did any sparring, and then we fought, and I still didn't do that bad, but it was like, that's not really proper, you know. So then that kind of got to me, and then after that, like the injuries kind of just trickled down and got worse and worse, and then this hand fractured, and then my ankle started bothering me, and it was like, then the coaches on the other hand, they're like, why aren't you coming anymore, like why aren't you training? And then it's like, you want to say that, they're like, yeah, but then you're the athlete that gets hurt the most. But like, it's like, yeah, but no shit, I never take off, and then when I take off you give me shit. So it was kind of like a lot of back and forth, and that kind of annoyed me, and then me myself not doing everything. And like I personally, I just don't find sparring once a week, especially if it's a hard sparring, that you need to do that, or twice a week. It's like absurd and ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense, especially when it comes for your brain. And yes, getting work in, I'm like completely for that. You need to get the work in, but there's nothing wrong with doing some sparring which is technical, and you guys are just playing that out. So I find now that I really have a structure, I really took the time off to relax, and now I'm really taking care of the injuries to heal, to come back for this big season that's coming. Things will be a lot more different, and it's going to be the old Zach that was kicking ass that's still here. I just have to find him. He was hiding somewhere. Mental game is big change now. I'm really ready and focused, so really excited for that. Blame no one besides myself. Just a lot of, you need positivity in your group, you know, and then when someone starts throwing you shade and negativity, fuck up. So I don't need that at all.
I showered you, I fed you, I creamed you, I gave you the ring, I spoke to you. I just have fun to you.
I was gonna make just so like you have something with big guys. Okay. I got my weekend. Okay. Not a big guy. So we'll have to go get that in the morning. And I will make like we'll make 4 of them. Yeah. And then
with this trip ending, it's time to go home. It's time to get ready. We relaxed, we recovered, we enjoyed the deload week. time to get home, get everything sorted, get training camp started, plan all the times, all the training sessions, everything, all the recovery sessions, all the rehab for my hand. And the plan for this year is to do what I do best and nothing else, not calling anyone out, not doing nothing, just doing what I need to do for me to go back. Not even to go back, just to do me. And that's kind of the plan and the goal that we have in mind, spending the whole time and this whole week with my family and just relaxing and not really needing to worry about anything. It's probably like the biggest relief and like mental reset and body reset. So I feel good, I feel ready. Big year to come, super excited.